Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're not at the farm this week. We're back up in the Amish land of Ohio. Came up here for the draft horse sale, the spring draft horse sale, to mostly just watch it, but to pick up a few things for my sickle mower, some single shaft stuff so I can drive dual single and get to working with the babies. But I needed that single shaft stuff to be able to do that. So I've gotten all of that stuff, and now it's mostly just watching the horses go through the auction. I'm staying at an Amish home this week. A little different, but it's pretty interesting. I got to tell you, it's pretty interesting. I befriended an Amish couple, and they invited me to stay with them for the week. They have an apartment in their basement, which is where I am right now, and they offered it to me. And so I graciously accepted. And then about a week and a half ago, they called me and they said, "Hey, we've had a change of plans. We are not going to be there. We have to go to a wedding in Lancaster, Pennsylvania." And I said, "No big deal. Well, I'll just get a hotel. It's not a big deal." And they said, "No, no, 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 no. We made the agreement where you were going to stay here in the home, and we want you to stay here in the home." And I was like, "Well, it's going to be kind of weird with you guys not there." And they said, "Well, we will be back midweek. And so you just stay there the first 2 nights. It'll be unlocked, and you just go in and make yourself at home." So I did, and their nephew lives up the hill. I'm going to take you outside and show you around and show you the inside of this apartment. This is not the traditional Amish home because I'm in the basement, and so it is a basement. I'm sure the upstairs is unlocked. I haven't gone up there. Everything else is unlocked, and I've got free reign to go anywhere I want, but I don't want to just walk upstairs into their home without them here. It's very comfortable. It's very cozy, and I'm very appreciative. Saving me a lot of money. It's about $660 in hotel to stay up here for the week, and unless you got family or something, you're in a hotel, and they like to run the prices up in the spring and in the fall for the big sales. So anyway, I got in yesterday afternoon, probably about 4:30. I brought a few things with me as far as food wise, but mostly I'm just eating out at the Amish restaurants. But the nephew lives up on the hill, and I checked in with him when I got here last night, and then I took him to the auction this morning and dropped him off while I was running errands. We left at about 6:45 this morning. He got up at about 4 and started. He had to feed the horses and feed the dogs and do some other things, and then I heard a generator fire off at about 5:30, I think. And then I heard people walking around upstairs, and there's a seamstress shop upstairs, and the girls get here at about 6 o'clock and start sewing, and they get off, I think, at 3:30, and it's 3:30 right now. So this apartment's got everything in it that you need. I mean, there's not a coffee machine or a microwave, but there's all the pots and the pans and the dishes and the refrigerator, and you wouldn't have some of the stuff in a hotel that I don't have here. I do wish I had a coffee machine because I've got some tea. I want to drink some tea. I mean, I could boil water on the stove if I wanted to, but so coming in the door right here, come right into the kitchen area. There's no carpet or any floor coverings. It's just concrete, but it has radiant floor heating in here. And it's a super clean concrete floor. You can walk around here barefooted. Nothing is on your feet at all. And it's super warm in here, but huge table. Now she's got all of her plants in here. These plants are typically out on the porch, so they're all in here for the winter. She's got all the cabinets, all the pots and the pans, your sink, gas stove, and a gas refrigerator. And what's crazy about this refrigerator is there's no light in the refrigerator, just like there's no lights in their house. Kind of crazy. It's some kind of gas. It could be propane. I'm not real sure. But I've got my own patio out here. Got a fireplace, or a fire pit rather, and I've got a table and a gazebo arbor. And then coming over here, It's just some china cabinet that goes upstairs to their home. And then there's a room right here that just has, it's just a closet. But you got a thermostat that controls the radiant heat in the floor. Got a bathroom right here. You got your sink and your shower, toilet, got everything I need. This little motion light right here just knocks the edge off, but they left me a big battery powered light and left me an extra battery for it. It's just a drill battery in the bottom of this thing. And turn that sucker on and it lights it up. So we'll carry this light around with us. So this is all of their outdoor furniture right here. And this stuff is, some of it is outside downstairs and then some of it is outside down here. But right now they bring it all inside during the winter, and then they have a little seating area here, and then you hang this light, from up on the ceiling. And then here's my bed, and I had to bring my blanket on my bed, and it's nice and comfortable over in the corner. It's a sleeper sofa, and most of the time sleeper sofas aren't comfortable, but it's not too bad. Check out this canning room. So she's got all kinds of stuff. She stays pretty active doing all this stuff, but she's got all the pots and the pans and everything. However you do all this stuff, all the mason jars are cleaned and turned upside down and ready to go. But when she's making everything, she's got all of these pots and pans up here that are just exclusively for canning. I thought was pretty cool. Now, obviously, you can't see the radiant heating in the floor, but if we go up to the ceiling, you can see those tubes of hot water runs through that. And upstairs in their house, they've got hardwood floors up there, and then they've got throw rugs, all over the floor. But this whole entire thing is done in radiant floor heating. If it wasn't 38 degrees out here, I'd be sitting out here, but it is freezing. I think it was 28 this morning. This room right here is just the lawnmower and garden room and gardening room, I call it. It's not heated in here, so this room is extremely cold. But in here, this room, totally separate, it is a root cellar. I'm calling it that. I don't know that's what it is, but it's got a pebble floor, and then it's brick, and then, I don't know, some kind of concrete board up here at the top. But they keep all their flower bulbs and their garlic and their potatoes and their apples and just whatever down here. And a lot of this stuff is old from last year, but I mean, you can see those potatoes. They probably plant those out in the garden, but I'm not sure why it's got a pebble floor. I guess that's customary for a root cellar. I don't know. So they have a massive garage over here. Coming into their garage, they got a people door here. It's probably 6 feet right there. And then this is a door and a half. That's probably 12 feet right there. And then there's another 6 foot space right there with a 4 foot window. Another 12 foot or so door. And then there's probably 8 or 9 feet right there with another people door. And then those stairs right there go up to the seamstress shop. And at least one of the girls is still here because this is her electric bike. These things cost about $3,000. And they go about 38, 40 miles an hour. And they're all over the place. Pretty crazy. So everything's indoor right now. So he's got this bike rack, typically outside. And then this is his little mechanics area. They're super organized. All the cabinets down here, and then all the tools upstairs. And then there's just more storage in here and around the corner over there underneath those stairs. He's got a bunch of horse tack hanging here on the wall. But typically the only thing that's in here is their horse wagons. But because it is winter, they've got everything stored in here for the winter, which I'm assuming it's going to go back out to the barn after the winter. But he's got a brand new PTO cart here, the 23 horsepower motor on it. And the horses pull it. And he sits over there, and he's got this pump has got its own motor on it, and this hay baler has got this round baler has got its own motor on it, and that square baler over there has got its own motor on it. And then he's got a hay wagon right here with a 4-cart on top. He's got a hay rake and a hay tedder in here. And then he's got a 2-wheel wagon that he can hook up to the 4-cart and pull around. And then he's got a Pioneer people mover. He can put probably 10 or 12 people in this thing. Got a little sunshade on it. And then got this Meadowbrook cart here. And then this is their Amish buggy. And then they've got a convertible Amish buggy for the summer, I guess. So they're not inside sweating inside of this one. They got a box that can go on the back of the buggy. They're going to go get a bunch of stuff. They got an extra seat to go on something. And then this is their brain network over here. So they've got 2 on-demand water heaters, and I don't know how these things work, but they've got those, and I'm assuming they're linked together, although they have different temperatures on them. I think this one's 110 and this one's 130. But then they've got all of their brains over here that operate their house. These are the deep cell cycle batteries that run everything in the home. And on a cloudy day, when those are not enough, then they have just a standard generator that they roll outside and plug in to this power cord. And this power cord runs back over to the circuit panel here and charges everything up. Couple of church pews left over from church service on Sunday. Not sure why they didn't make it on the church wagon. But what'll happen is they'll clean out this entire garage here. They'll put all the church pews up here on both sides, and then they'll put the pulpit all the way down there at the end, and they'll hold church service in here. So the way they do church is a little different than the way we do it. They have church every 2 weeks, and they have a host home. And that host home, they have a wagon, a church wagon, and the men bring that church wagon with their horses to the next home. So church was here last Sunday. After church was over, they loaded everything up on the church wagon, and then he hooked his horses up and carried it to the next home. And it will sit over there for 2 weeks. And then when church is held, then they will clean out their garage and then set everything up and do it all over again. But this kitchen here is where they host everything. So the woman of the home, she will provide, the church buys the meat and the bread and the cheese and that type of stuff. So they had ham sandwiches. And then she cooked some brownies or some cookies or something. And so that'll be the meal. It's just a very light meal. No real cooking per se. It's just, warming up some sandwiches and stuff, maybe on a griddle or something. And then the district assigns 2 women to help the woman that owns the home, so that when the church leaves and the 35 or 40 people leave, she's not left with a big mess to clean up. And so the 2 women that are assigned, and it rotates, that they clean the dishes, they wash dishes, they put them all back up in the cabinets and all that type of stuff. So the host woman isn't stuck with all of that. When you're a guest at someone's home, you always ask, just, hey, can I help you clean up? And the host always says no. It's expected if you're a family member, but if you're a guest, you ask because you know that that the host is going to say no, that they have it. And then as soon as you leave, then the host lady is pulling her hair out going, oh my gosh, now I'm left with this mess. But in any event, I think it's kind of neat that the host, or that the district, that they assign women to help the host woman. They don't have a church. It's never really thought about it, but you would think they would have a designated church, but they don't. They just host it at a home, and it just, you figure there's 25 homes in the district, and so church is held every 2 weeks, so you host maybe once a year. So it's not that bad. The districts are relatively small, so you don't have a long way to go to get to each home. These are the solar panels that are outside that charge the batteries that I was just showing you. And then their phone shanty is right up there in the woods. Now these steps are going up to their home here. And these are flower beds that are, dormant for the winter, but everything's real clean and everything's nice and neat and orderly. And this is their front porch. They've got a radiant heater over there. And they've got a gas grill up here. Typically there's a gas grill downstairs, but you can see how windy it is. That's their kitchen right there in the corner. That's the entrance to their house, but that goes into a big mud room right there. And the mud room is all radiant heated flooring, and it's got cabinets in it. It's got a sink in there where you can take your shoes off and wash up before you ever go in the house. This is a couple of their flower beds where they grow a lot of herbs and stuff, and different fruits and that type of stuff. They've got a big trellis over there against the fence. That's the nephew's playground and some of his horses and ponies there. That's the nephew's house there. That's the big barn. And then that's the old barn with the old harness shop on top. And then right there is the seamstress shop. I don't ever go in there because they're always operating and they're always in there working, and they stop operating and want to know what you're doing in there and if they can help you. Big bird feeder right there. And then this is a purple martin condo right here. And it's kind of neat because you can raise and lower it like a flag using this winch right down here. And at the end of the season, when all the martins have left, you can lower it down and you can clean everything out so that when they come back whenever they come back, they come back to a clean condo to make new nests. And here's the barn. They keep 2 of the horses in here. There's actually more than 2, but this is a hitching post with a parking pad right here. But he's got 6 horses in foal, but only 2 of them are over here. So you can go upstairs, but you got to go around the top, and you can drop hay and oats and everything down from upstairs, and there's equipment up there. And this barn has been whitewashed right here. And the whitewashing is a type of sanitation and keeps the bugs down and stuff. And they have it sprayed every couple of years, but it keeps the spiders down and that type of stuff. But it's called whitewashing. We don't do that down in Georgia, but you don't see any spider webs or bird nests or anything in here. And then this is a dry room in here, and they keep their meds in here and keep their oats in here that they've already crimped. I'm going to show you a crimper here in a second, but it doesn't get humid in this room or anything, so it does real well for the meds. And then this is the oats crimper right here. So he drops the whole oats in from the top, runs through the crimper, and goes into that wheelbarrow you saw. And that crimper is actually in one of the tie stalls. He's got another tie stall right here, and then 2 tie stalls over here as well. And then these are 2 of the yearlings that haven't sold yet. They both have very, very small white stars on their head. I'm not sure what he's holding them for. I don't know exactly what the story is. That's one of his harness horses, and another harness horse that they use for the buggies. A lot of pigeons in here, eating oats and stuff. Go outside here. And here's 2 of the pregnant mares, held back by 1 piece of electric wire. They both have their white stars. They're pretty dirty. They've been out rolling, and it's pretty muddy. And then this is the stallion. And this is the most serious fence here. It's got 5 strands of hot wire, and it's about 6 feet tall or higher. So there's 4 more mares. 2 are across the street, and then 2 are down the road about 20 minutes away. This is a natural gas well that is out in the field, and the gas company comes and installs this, and you get free gas for your home. And anything over, they give you a free allotment, but anything over the free allotment you have to pay for, but it's typically enough to get you through the winter. But that's the home with the seamstress to the left. That's the pasture across the street where the other 2 horses are. I'm sorry, the seamstress shop is to the right of the house. And then that's the nephew's house there. And That's the nephew's barn and the old harness shop in the foreground, and then the big barn is in the background. These are the two girls that are across the street. They're both in foal. They're expecting, out of all 6 of their mares that are pregnant, they're expecting 1 at the end of March and then 5 in April. This fence right here is all that is holding them in, just 2 strands of electric wire, and it is about crotch high. So I don't know, it's less than 3 feet high. You think they could just step over it. I mean, it's shocking them in the knees. But they could just jump over it if they wanted to, it would seem like. But I guess it's creating such a electrical charge that, they just stay away from it. But it just seems like you would make it higher, but that's all it takes. But these girls are both in foal, and they're doing well. This is the road I was telling you about that separates. His house is on the right, and then his property's across the street. The 59 additional acres that houses the other 2 animals, or the other 2 mares rather, it's about 15 or 20 minutes down the road, and I don't even know how to get there, so we're not going to be able to see them. But all of this land down here at the bottom is all his. And then back there to that tree line. So that meadow right there, and he will put up an electric fence right there and let them graze. He's just got this solar-powered fence charger that's charging those 2 wires that keeps those girls in. I just still can't believe it's only knee-high to them, but it must pack a serious punch. So that's going to do it for this week. Next week, I'm going to take you over to the Mid-Ohio Draft Horse Auction, and I'm going to show you around over there. A couple of you had said I would really like to see what all is for sale over there. So rather than spending my time in the arena and showing you everything that's going on, I'm going to take you around and show you what all is there at the auction. So that'll be pretty neat. So that'll be next week's video. So I appreciate you watching this week. And as always, remember who you are, be kind to those around you, stand up for what you believe in.